This is your degenerate power hour. Your late night golden shower. Too ill to be sick, so thick you can't split. That carnival spin with the rictus grin. I'm Joel, he's BMO, and this is Vagrants and Vandals Radio.
No, I wanted to do that.
Yeah, we had a bit of a discussion before we started. I told Beam, I'm like, give it a go, because he's been saying for months how he wants to do the intro. I'm like, give it a go, and he got stage fright.
I need a script.
He says he needs a script.
Do you remember? They still can't say. They suckle the milk from my teeth.
You know, I've looked for that and looked for it. I can't find the damn tape.
They got those fake teeth in.
Yeah, BMO's referencing a project I did in college. We had him in a cage. He was topless, and he was talking about rats, I think, suckling
Couldn't
milk
spit the
from his
line
nipple.
out to save my life.
Just kept laughing and laughing.
I did plenty of parts, bro. I played Chub.
Chub the Clown.
That's a leading role.
Oh, yeah. We got
Ezekiel and what was the other guy? Jebediah?
Mm-hmm. Jebediah Chunka.
I'm a circus mom.
Yep.
I played the first evolution of Chub, I believe.
No. You were
Second evolution?
Chub's final version.
Nice.
Because remember,
it's like it, but like way cheaper.
The end,
fatter.
The end fight was between Ezekiel, my character, and Chub.
With the da-na, da-na,
Star Wars Duel of the Fates.
We have a real night for fucking biting each other with, which is ridiculously unsafe. OSHA would have thrown a fit.
Lots of stupid shit.
Maybe those cops.
Oh yeah, the night we almost got
Put
arrested.
your hands in the air. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
We might want to put this in some context for people. So to start things off, we're recording this on the Sunday before President's Day. BMO and I, neither of us are working tomorrow, so we're living.
We call that Trump's Day.
No, we don't.
We don't?
No.
I thought you said that.
We said President's Day, not illegitimate President's Day.
Rattling them up.
So we decided, we recorded 2 episodes. I said, what, let's do a stubby. And for those of you not familiar with that, every once in a while we'll do our 2 episodes, whether I'm with Brandon or Jason, and you're still jonesing.
Or Stu, or Andrew, or that
whoever.
guy who lives in the corner.
Whoever.
You with whoever.
And you just say, let's do another one that's a kind of free form. Maybe it goes 20 minutes, maybe it goes 30 minutes. Sometimes they go an hour. We call them a stubby.
Oh, shit.
Stubby. What'd you drop?
My cigarette.
He's dropping cigarettes up in here. He's squealing like a cat who's being raped.
Do 30 inverted push-ups. How many you do?
What does that even mean?
Exactly.
Inverted.
Well, it's not inverted. It's more of like a plank position on the windowsill. I'm not like I'm in the.
So you're standing vertically.
Yeah, but I'm at a plank.
And you want me to be impressed by this?
How many can you do?
More than 30. If we're talking standing up, pushing yourself against a wall, yeah.
Not against a wall. Against that.
Against a windowsill?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident that I could do probably 30 normal push-ups.
You said it before.
And I did it before.
You did 20.
On the mud puppets, yeah.
20.
Years ago. Yes, I remember.
Okay.
And I cranked them out pretty quickly.
When was the last time you did a push-up?
Been a long time, admittedly,
then?
yes. No.
Did you do 20?
No, because there was 3 different times when
let's see.
There was 3 different times.
How many you can do? Tough guy.
Do you not remember the several occasions where I did the DDP yoga program?
Yeah, I know DDP.
I got in pretty decent shape when I did those.
I actually kind of want to borrow that.
I got down to 187 pounds the one time. I'm normally, right now I'm about 222 pounds.
I'm at 315.
3 what?
15.
Oh, yeah, well, remember we were doing those updates for a while.
Yeah, I've gained fucking weight.
I figured that's why they stopped.
Well, it's not that they stopped.
They stopped. We stopped getting updates.
Well, no, you stopped putting out podcasts.
You stopped having
6 months.
You stopped having reasonable availability.
I had a problem, all right.
Yeah, you had a problem, all right.
There was an affair, a child.
What?
All kinds of shit, bro. Things happen.
It's getting deep.
Oh, not my affair nor my child, but things happen.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know what I was thinking of recently?
Young kids. Andrew's laughing. Stu's laughing.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna have to evolve the joke a bit.
I can't let it go.
If you'd have said barely legal women, Okay, that's.
I'm gonna move on to you looking like a fat Dave Portnoy because you put weight on too, homie.
I've actually lost weight recently.
Shave your beard, trim it down.
I'll look.
It's
thinner.
making your face look fat.
Yeah. So
Look
at the plasma place, they weigh you before each donation.
Where you sell your body?
Huh?
That place you sell parts of your body?
Yeah, where I sell my liquids. They weigh you. My first visit there, I was 229 pounds.
Just like, whoa, fat
Last
boy.
visit, I was 222, and I was like, I'm not even doing anything. I lost 7 pounds.
Like, yeah, that's all plasma.
I'll tell you. They're like, yes, sir, that was your plasma.
Plasma's heavy. And we want everything you got.
I was like, I'm wasting away.
Now you look like Christian Bale in the
Mechanic. Yeah. Good movie.
Is it called Mechanic?
Yeah. Or The Machinist?
Machinist.
Yeah.
I just sounded too fucking
Machinist.
like the Mechanic.
That was a trippy movie.
The Mechanic is Bobby on heroin.
Oh.
Where were you on that, bro?
That piece of
I
shit.
hit that shit out the park, baby.
You know, I still tell people to this day, when he dies, I'll piss on his grave.
I'm so inebriated that I was going to say, Joel would have loved that shit. And then I looked across and there Joel was.
He's right here.
And he was smiling. So I knew he loved it.
So
He was pissing and cloning himself.
I know this is something we've probably talked about from time to time on the podcast before. We've talked about like when we were younger, we had like shit issues, and there was a poop knife to cut up large shits, and
Still have issues.
you had the one time where you were so plugged up you had to go to the hospital.
On my mom's birthday.
But what I don't know that we've told, I was recently recounting classic shit stories for someone that I work with, and
How'd that come up? How'd that even come up?
dude, you know it's me.
My childhood bowel movements don't come up in usual conversations.
You know, now that you're asking, I couldn't
be real with you.
I can't recall. It was probably started with like being caught in awkward situations.
Like
at
when they
someone
come
else's
up
house.
for me, it's usually because I'm bringing them up because I want to talk about them.
Well, I mean, ultimately, that's kind of where I pivoted. I was like, listen to these stories.
Guess what?
So I'm telling these stories, and I don't know if I've ever told you this one. Now, you, of course, know the infamous incident at Lake Waccamatta in
No, of
Canada,
course.
and I'll get to that.
Most of Canada knows of that tale.
I want to bring something up to you, though, that also happened on that trip. I want to see if you remember this,
Okay.
because it was arguably more noteworthy than what I did with a turd.
A lot happened in that trip, though.
Oh, yeah. There was a big fight, if you'll recall. There was the race where we almost
I
died.
do recall that.
Let me get to all that in a bit, though, because I don't know if I've ever told you this shit story. And I'll say this person's...
Old shit story. Like, I feel like I know your shit history pretty
Well, let's see. And then the listeners don't know this story, and I want to share it. And I'm going to use this person's name because they've long since passed away. Our grandparents used to have a cabin just north of Clare County in Isabella County in a little subdivision called Hillhaven, Michigan. We had this in our family 4 years, like our whole childhood.
4 years is a long time.
No, FOR. 4 years. Not four, not the number four. For years.
Yeah, 4 years. I got
Okay.
it. It's called comedy. Bro.
Man, I hadn't been to the cabin. It'll be 20 years this
Sold
year
now.
since the last time. Yeah, I know. It's kind of sad.
Can we buy it back?
Really sad. Earlier, it was last year. Actually.
Would it be possible to buy it back
Well,
amongst us?
at some point,
grandkids?
if it got put on the market,
We just fucking approach those people like Tulsa King, like, hey, who's grow over here?
I mean, I don't know if they're using it as a cabin or if it's their primary residence or
Yeah,
what.
fuck either way. We take it.
It is sad though. It would have.
We take it.
I remember the day it sold. The day before, so Uncle Scott was going up there, and I couldn't take the day off of work. If it was any other,
You
like,
had a chance to go.
yeah, I had a meeting or I had something I had to be at, or
Nothing was more important.
Well, no, there clearly there was
something.
something that day I had to do. Otherwise, I would have absolutely taken the day off and ridden up there with him just to get that whiff of the cabin one more time.
I didn't even get asked. Uncle Scott never liked me.
He didn't ask me. I just invited myself.
He still allowed it. Uncle Scott
That's
never
true.
liked me. It's all right.
He'll admit it. He's admitted it to me.
Well, of course he would. But he didn't like me not for me. He disliked me because of my
I
mom.
don't think that's true. I think it was you. I think it was
What
you.
could I possibly done?
You were an obnoxious child. We ready to move on to the shit story?
You want to support that fucking dictator? You do goddamn shit, bro. Block all that out. I love you, mama. Jay Fitzy, got your back, homeboy. Let's go.
I'd like to know
Let's
that, Lord.
go.
He's exceedingly stoned and drunk right now.
I'm actually not high at all. That's the problem.
I feel like a pretty good rip of that bong in the laundry room.
Fucking nothing, bro. It's residual.
Oh,
If I don't have a good 50-50
There you go,
to
kids.
keep me, like, bow and sternum,
right.
I'm walking in the waves, bro. Walking in the waves. I'm using a W to
What?
induce the wooziness so you get dizzy. You need to dye that fucking beard, bro. You look old as fuck.
No, I need to trim it.
That
All
wouldn't
right.
help either.
Let me tell a story.
All right.
So we had this
You
cabin.
said snub, bro.
Huh?
You said go with the flow, snub.
Stubby.
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 What'd I say, snubby?
Yeah.
I was thinking of my dick.
A stub. So you remember 2 cabins down on the corner of the street.
Barney?
Barney. Old lady named Barney.
She touched me one time.
She did not.
Nah, she didn't. Still a good story, though.
She was like, if I was going to molest one of those kids, it wouldn't be that disgusting fat one.
Why would it not be? I'm most prone to keep my mouth shut.
Why? Okay. Why is that?
She filleted me.
She filleted?
And by that, I mean she made me fillet her.
Ooh, that'd be brutal.
She was actually a man.
That'd be rough.
No one's seen that coming.
She unfurled it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It stunk.
Can we not disparage her name? This deceased
Barney.
woman who was,
She
nothing but
wasn't-
nice to us.
You remember what she looked like?
Yeah.
I kind of do, too. It
Yeah, I
was
remember.
very, like, vague.
There's pictures of her here and
like-
there, too.
Wilted, matted hair, big bush, wilted titties.
Well, she was like 80.
Yeah.
Wilted.
What is pussy you ever felt?
Wilted titties. Excuse
Like
me,
a
ma'am. I don't
she had
know
a fountain of youth in her fucking legs, bro. Look that shit. You turn young again. I lost 2 years that summer.
ma'am, I don't know if you're aware of this, but your titties have wilted. Just thought I'd bring that to your attention. If you want to get that looked at by a doctor. Wilted titties. You look it
Y'all
up.
know wilted titties, bro.
You need to Google that. WebMD. Okay. Well, so this would have been, if I'm not mistaken, summer of 96.
5 hour day. I tell my wife to get that up.
He's clutching his chest. He's wheezing. You okay?
Capture the moment.
So summer 96, I'm up north with Grandpa and 2 of our cousins. Our cousins Barry and Lonnie.
Get there.
Barry and Lonnie, pair of brothers. It's up north with them. Cousins.
Are you going to bleep all my shit?
Bleep some of it.
God damn. The thinner, that's
So-
funny.
We used to sometimes go over and shoot the shit with Barney, and she'd be watching her daytime soaps. She was just a lonely old lady.
Mm-hmm.
So one time, I had to take a big shit while we were visiting.
You fucked her plumbing up.
Why I didn't, and I'll tell you why I didn't. Why I didn't just go back to the cabin, I'm assuming probably because I was lazy, 1, and 2, because earlier that summer or the summer prior, I shut that fucking toilet down 15 minutes after we arrived, and it was shut down the entire fucking trip.
Are you the reason we had to shit in a bucket every trip?
I 100% am.
Whether you shit normal or not. I didn't, but
Do you remember Uncle Scott accused me of doing it on purpose?
yeah, I do remember the claims of like, I got lumped into it too, like, you are.
You guys went back to back and did a power
What's
shit.
we shit? I didn't even shit yet. And I don't mentally control how big my shits are going to get, but it's your big boy. I promise you that.
Yeah, so I think maybe that was...
See that blue bottle? They come out looking like that.
indicating a blue plastic bottle in the corner of the room here. Pretty large.
Andrew
It's girthy.
sent me that picture of his daughter's shit.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone and he's like, I gotta go. I gotta take care of this.
She's been holding it for a while?
Well, that's what I asked.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, as a chronic shit holder, your shit don't get that big without compacting pile on pile on pile on pile on pile
It's
on
like-
pile. Till it's so big
Right.
that is the fist of justice coming out your asshole.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
And when it come out, it feels great. Like,
Well, I don't feel great when it's happening. Once it's out, Yeah, when your internal organs can resettle into their natural positions.
Because your body's not compressed with shit. He sent me a picture, bro. I laughed. I said, "Oh, she's family." Like, holy.
She's got the family gifts.
How long could her arm be? She's 3-4 years old. This long?
Yeah, she was holding it for a few days.
Long,
yeah.
I mean, it was in the tub.
Mm-hmm. Was it curled?
It didn't have to.
No.
It was one giant stem, bro, a root.
Yeah.
We all had those.
Gonna want to monitor that kid's diet.
Get a knife. Get a designated knife and be done with it.
So,
It's genetic. It has to be.
Maybe. All right, yeah, so...
well, I'm related, you're related, Andrew's related, his kid's related.
I think part of it's learned behavior to some extent.
Is it a trauma thing, holding your shit?
I don't know that it's that. It could be
Nobel.
It could be part of like an anal fixation, maybe.
I never penetrated anally.
I'm not talking about penetration, man. Just saying, some kids have an oral fixation where they.
I'm asking, have you been penetrated anally?
No.
Me either. You answered that way too.
I wasn't actually clear what you were
asking.
The way
he answered that was way too personal. No. I'll say this. No.
If my partner was into it, I'd try it.
Oh, I don't mean consensual penetration.
Are you asking if I've been raped?
Yeah.
No, I've not been raped. I'm glad we cleared that up.
With 16 eager black men.
One time I got trapped in Boogie Town.
Andrew's so mad he's not here right now. He doesn't even know it, but he will as soon as he hears this.
All right, can I finish this shit story?
Oh, it's a shit story. I know it's an etiquette to it. My bad.
All right, so I'm at Barney's. I don't.
Dave Portnoy of the shit world ranking shit. So let's hear it.
I decide for whatever reason I'm not going back to the cabin. I need to shit then and now. So I go into Barney's bathroom. All right, and she had a pretty standard bathroom. You walk through the door to your right. There's the sink. At the end of the sink, there's the toilet.
She had those handles.
I don't remember that.
I bet she
could have.
She's old, bro. She had to.
And then at the end of the toilet, there's the tub. Okay.
And her douche station.
Maybe I was only like 13 at the time, so if there was a douche station, I probably didn't pick up on it.
I smell vinegar.
So I'm sitting there. I take my dump, and I knew it was a big one. So I looked to confirm.
It was always a big one.
And indeed, it was pretty monstrous shit. And I remember looking at it and thinking, it might go down if I try and flush it. No. But in my experience, we know it's not going to go down with one flush.
You can see the girth and know. You can also tell by the density.
Oh, yes.
You can look at that, water was displaced. That crusty manner, like the earth crust.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dried clay almost.
Yeah.
Like, you can just know, that motherfucker ain't giving nowhere.
So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I don't even want to have to flush this twice. Okay, more than twice, because twice I can claim once for the shit and then once for the toilet paper, as Grandpa.
If they don't go down, you're going to spillage.
Right. So I'm concerned about, and that's the thing, her living room was connected to the bathroom.
I'm concerned for you in this situation right now. I've been there.
I knew that she and our cousins, Barry and Lonnie, were going to hear the flushes.
Lonnie and boy or girl?
The brothers, the boys.
Well, Lonnie's a semi-girl name.
These names rhyme with their real names.
Oh, these aren't real names.
Barry and Lonnie. Our cousins.
Oh, I'm fucking so bad.
Barry and Lonnie.
Our cousins.
On our mother's sides of the family.
I got it. I got it. Thank you. Yes.
So they're in the living room talking to Barney. And I'm like, oh, God damn. I'm like, I don't want to start flushing this because it's not going to flush. I'm going to plug up the toilet. What the fuck were you doing?
That's an emotion for that person. Okay. This is for the one person.
And then that's... Okay. I'm not even going to attempt to explain what you're doing right now.
Well, that was my...
Okay.
Yeah, like the fucking...
Okay. All right. Brandon is doing some bizarre hand motions. I guess, I think. I'll talk to you later about it, I guess.
A fucking hook nose, right?
Okay, a hook nose.
God, you know what I'm fucking talking about.
Okay.
He can look at the tip of his nose.
Maybe. I haven't asked. I haven't seen it.
He could.
Okay, so there I am in the bathroom. Giant turd in the toilet. I got 3 human beings out in the living room who are going to hear every goddamn thing I'm doing. I know this turd ain't going to flush. I don't want to risk plugging up her toilet and then see the dreadful sign of water coming up. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what can I do? Now, there was no sneaking it out because the only door.
What is this, Guacamole?
Now listen, the only door leads right back to the living room, and this turd was a two-hander.
Bro, that's never an option in any shit situation. You might have had the one in history.
Now listen,
where you had an option.
We don't want to give away this story yet. This is the dilemma I'm in. So I know I can't flush it without risking embarrassment or plugging up a toilet. I know I can't just waltz out the door with it because it's a giant turd. And I would literally have to go buy all of them in the living room and be like, I'm going to need a minute.
I go back.
So I'm sitting on the toilet and I notice in front of me there's a window. And I think, fire escape. The window led directly into her backyard. Now, if you remember, there was like a tree line behind our cabin and hers.
Oh, the cabin.
So it shielded you. There was no houses behind that could see this happen.
We're in our grandma's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at?
This is Barney's house, two doors down.
Right. So Barney's, her bathroom didn't have a window. I was going to be like, our bathroom didn't have a window.
Right.
Which
Ours did.
A horrible design flaw.
It did have a bathroom window.
It did?
Yeah, by the toilet, yeah.
Hey, fucking shitty fucking cabin to begin with. But yeah, okay, I do remember Barney's because it was this end of the house. Window was right here. Mm-hmm. And maybe a second window right here.
Well, so she had one of those houses where there was the house that had a breezeway that connected to the garage. So it kind of created this little cutout in her backyard. Outlet, huh? That's where the window was.
Dropping bodies?
So
and pooties.
I opened the window. And I'm thinking, Barney's an old lady.
Sick.
She don't go back. She does not go in this backyard often.
Hopefully not.
And I had no other choice.
No,
what was I going to do? River dance it down the fucking tub? No.
You could have just said, hey.
Nope. Wasn't an option. I was not going down that road. The embarrassment was too much. So I two-hand scooped this.
Is it less embarrassing?
Well, now it's just a good story. I mean, this is almost 30 years ago. I don't feel bad about it. Two hands, I scoop that fucking turd out of that cold toilet water, and I'm holding it like this. It was like a fucking sandwich from Subway.
Choking on that thing. You don't feel bad. You want to feel bad now. She died thinking someone dropped her a chocolate, bro. She died on it.
She died years later.
Yeah, from fucking goddamn fecal infestation.
So
you sick fuck.
The window's open. I've got the turd. Only one thing left to do now. I bring it to the window. I give it a little heave. Out the window into the backyard goes. I never see that turd again.
Your second shit flinging offense.
Oh, there may have been others.
Bro, you're like a serial killer.
I'm a serial shit
You're
flinger.
like a serial shit flinger.
So,
you can't just shit wherever you want and fling it places.
I had to. It was my only option.
Dexter's like, you don't understand. Oh, trust me. I definitely understand.
Now.
But hotel rooms I could never do.
Why? Did you ever hear that story where
I have standards behind the heater?
Did you ever hear that story when we used to sneak into that hotel on Dixie Highway?
Shit in the sauna, bro.
Yeah,
You're
you
fucking
remember that?
Disgusting.
You remember
that? You don't hear that and not remember it. You're disgusting. And the authorities are on their way right now. This whole thing was just set up.
You're
in trouble.
Stu was either in the sauna with me or he went in there after because I told him, I'm like, hey, I shit on the coals in there. And he didn't believe me. And he went in there and it was an immediate
Nobody would ever believe that.
Well.
Until they entered the vicinity.
Yeah, we left shortly thereafter.
I sent a meme to April for the boys. That was Superman. Or it was Batman shooting Superman with like a kryptonite smoke bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And, Superman's like, oh, no. Yeah. And it was labeled, my dad farting. Me. And today, fucking rip ass under the covers, gave me sitting. So I'm on the couch, all right? So my legs are like this.
Yeah.
Ass here. He's right here. I know it's going to be bad. He said, Dad, why? He felt it. He felt the burst, bro. Dad, why?
The concussive
I said,
blast.
Why, what? Why you do that? I'm like, what, this? And I, boom, throw him under the covers and lash it. He's fucking throwing up, dude, like gagging. I said, just like the meme comes out. He's got pink eye. Now I'm setting up next week's story.
Yeah, we're gonna have a special edition with the boys. Who knows? Maybe it'll have been released before this. I don't know. All right, so
I didn't think about that.
let's get to the coup de grace crapper story.
Which is?
This has been something that's been a family joke for many, many moons. Maybe we've talked about it before, but probably never quite in length. And even if we have, I have an extra ripple I'd like to add. BMO's counting his empties now. What are you at?
For the show?
Sure. For the show.
Because I drank before you showed.
Well, I figured.
I've got 8 sitting here.
8?
Yeah, I drank before you showed up, bro. And smoked. I think I'm at like 10, 11, 12.
Wow. So I got to work with people.
Yeah, funny.
All right.
And don't come cheap either.
So two years prior to flinging a turd out Barney's window, BMO and I found ourselves on a family trip up to Lake Wakamata.
Oh, hey, it's a good one.
In Canada, Ontario, Canada. If I had to estimate, I looked at it on a map recently. I would say, so you go up the Upper Peninsula through Sault Ste. Marie.
Long fucking way.
Oh yeah, you cross into Canada.
We up in the borderlands, bro.
Yeah, and if you look on a map of this area, you'll see just like vast wilderness. There's not even roads.
Was Greg planning on killing us?
We'll
get rid of all of us.
We could have him on someday and ask.
Why were we up that deep in the mountains?
You know, I know. I think I've asked your mom before, like why that place, and I can't remember the reason she gave me. One of either her or Greg found it.
There's no jurisdiction for law. It's been like something like that.
It's interesting you mentioned that, and I'm going to tell this part first and see if you remember it. So, like, again, there's not many main roads up there. I'm pretty sure I know that I could point to the highway on a map that we would have been on.
Right.
And I want to say this was maybe a 15, 20, 25-minute drive from the resort itself, which I believe to this day is referred to as Lake Wakamata Cabins or rentals.
I looked it up. That's what it is.
Do you remember we went into this little roadside diner? And when I say roadside, I literally mean we're driving down a 2-lane highway. One lane goes in one direction, one in the opposite. On one side is nothing but wilderness. On the other side, pretty much nothing but wilderness. But every once in a while, there's a little roadside stop.
A restaurant.
We stop at a little diner. We go in, we order our food, and I remember the waiter asking Greg if we wanted gravy on our fries. And us being Americans, we're like, say what now? And he was like, oh, well, people up here like it. We did not get it.
Poutine.
But I remember that. Well, then, I think your mom had taken Andrew to the bathroom. So I think it was just me, you, and Greg at the table. There was only one other human being, one other customer in the place. It was this tall, scruffy-looking lumberjack type, skinny.
How much for the fat one?
Look, by himself.
Who, me?
I would say the guy was in his late 20s to maybe late 30s. Maybe. And sitting there by himself. And on television, none of this is ringing a bell yet?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
We're watching the local news.
Bro, I thought we went to Texas together, right?
Right.
My whole life's a lie. What the fuck's going on?
Local news is on, and it starts telling a story about an escaped convict. And they show the guy's picture. They show like a sketch of him, if I remember correctly, on the TV. And I remember looking at it, and then looking at that guy, and back at the TV, and going, holy shit, that's him. And I remember Greg looking at the guy, like, holy shit, that's him.
Greg's like, put your face down in your phone.
The guy turns to us. He turns to Greg, and he goes, hey, you mind if I change the channel? Now, I'd love to ask Greg. He probably doesn't remember, but I remember his response. He knew. He very quickly, he was like, oh, no, that's fine. He fucking knew that was the guy on the TV.
You know how he doesn't know? Because he didn't remember Shelve It.
You know what was funny? I thought of that exact story when I was recalling this story. Like,
you don't remember that?
Right.
You don't remember that.
And that was 2009.
Right.
We asked him about the Shelve It story, and he said, I don't remember. I'm not saying I didn't. If you're telling me I said it, I said it.
You definitely said it.
So you're talking an incident that happened 3-4 years prior to the Shelve It.
Yeah, right.
He probably wouldn't remember.
But I don't remember it. I would think because maybe I didn't realize at the time. Like, I don't know. I was slightly younger than you.
But I remember thinking when he asked Greg, he's like, "Hey, you might have to change." I remember thinking, "Please just tell me he can change it."
Do you remember this? This is gonna do that, but it's on the same vein.
Yeah. What? What is that?
Frickers with Andrew.
Frickers.
You remember Andrew was back when we were in the girls' and he'd like, he'd do this move. Like he'd be like, he was whistling.
Andrew would do that? Like when he was a little kid?
Yeah, you don't remember that? I bet you he knows.
I almost vaguely recall.
I'm telling
so it
you,
was something he would do when he thought a girl was cute?
Yeah, like, and he was trying to make us feel goofy.
Right.
This weird That's exactly what it was, dude. He may not admit it. Just out of pure embarrassment. I would hope not, because you're a kid and no one's holding that against you. I'm going to need you to leave that shirt. That's cool.
My hoodie?
Yeah, that's a hoodie. That's even better.
I don't think it's going to fit.
I'll make it fit.
All right, so should I get to the Lake Waccamatta incident?
Oh, yeah. That's where you're going. That's where you were going.
Do we want to tell the story where we raced Greg on the wave?
I feel like you should give it. It's a good one.
All right. So this pretty cool lake. There was like a big island in the middle of the lake. So Brandon and I were on one wave runner. I was driving.
And you're right. I was in no control whatsoever.
Greg was on the other. Well, we had gone probably about 3/4 of the way around this island.
You talking about glass water?
Yeah. Small inland lake.
I don't know if small is the word, bro. That bitch was deep as fuck. One of the deeper lakes in Canada.
There's a lot of lakes in Canada.
Yeah, but that lake is especially deep because it's so close to the craters or the glaciers that carved out the lakes.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was like 2,000 feet deep.
It was not that deep. That's a mass exaggeration.
Okay.
This is a smallish
Go
inland
ahead and
lake.
tell your story. I'll look it up.
Do you know how deep the Great Lakes are?
Go ahead. I'll look it up.
There is no way that lake was that deep.
Go ahead and tell your
that lake
story about your boyhood fantasies.
That lake
I'll look it
at
up.
the deepest was maybe a couple hundred feet.
I'll look it up.
Do so, please.
I'm looking it up right
eagerly
now.
waiting.
Waccamatta.
So we're about 3/4 of the way around this island. And Greg's like, "Hey, boys, you want to race back?" It was getting late in the day. I think it was our last day there, or last night anyways. So I'm 11 years old. Brandon is 9 going on 10 because it's August. His birthday's at the end of August. So, of course, we're like, yeah, we want to race. So we start racing around this island. And Greg gives us a big head start. Okay? He's going to make it fair. Well, little did he know, I had no intentions of losing that lead. So we round the island. We're coming into the home stretch. And I am not letting off the throttle. I take a couple looks back. I see Greg still in the distance.
26 miles.
26 miles.
Deep.
You're completely full of shit. That is not 26 miles deep. While the lake reaches maximum depths of 240 feet.
26 miles.
240 feet.
26 miles.
That is not 26 miles. The average depth is 102 feet. So remember when I said at most it was probably
26 miles.
200, a couple hundred feet
miles.
deep. Looks
I'm
like I was
confusing
correct.
people with the numbers.
The lake has a perimeter of 26 miles.
Yeah, it's 26 miles deep, 26 miles around, and it extends 26 miles in the air.
Okay. You don't even believe what you're saying. So there we go. So I was correct.
It was deep. Joel thought he'd seen a fucking monster in the water.
No, I didn't.
You don't remember that giant thing we were paddle boating to the island?
If I said something, I made it up to scare you. I didn't see anything in the water.
You failed, and now you look like an idiot. And I was
100% correct in my description of that lake. You 26
this
miles
guy's
deep.
a fail. This guy motherfucker been lying his whole
26
life. He's been lying his whole life.
Fucking lake goes to the center of the earth.
His lies are 26 miles deep.
All right. So,
Compounded
again,
by...
we're coming to the home stretch. I see Greg still way behind us. Now, this lake, outside of our cabin, there was one of those like floating platforms that you could jump off of. Which was what? Maybe 50 yards from shore? Maybe. If even.
I don't know if it was that, bro. That was swimming.
So we're coming up. And we're going full throttle. We're coming up on this. And I remember thinking, we ain't losing.
Well, you didn't think it. You said it out loud.
Oh, yeah, well.
We're not losing.
Because I remember you screaming. I remember you going, what the hell are you doing?
Go! Listen, I'm an experienced rider. I know how to ride a jet ski. I'm on them all the time. This motherfucker is going at 70 miles an hour.
I don't think they went that fast, but...
Those jet skis went every bit of 65, 70 on glass water. So let's say we're going 45, 50.
That's fair.
Just,
yeah, I was cruising.
That is extremely fast.
It was full open. No lie about that. Full open.
It's like, vroom, vroom, vroom. We're getting closer and closer to shore. I eventually let go.
Did you?
Yeah. About, I'd say 3 seconds from when you let go of the throttle, which is about 30 fucking feet.
So you dove off into the water.
I just let go. I'm a rider. I know. Like, you were approaching land.
Oh, yeah, I was. I was rapidly approaching the shoreline.
You have no idea when that land hits, and if you hit quick, you're going to...
Oh, I was going to fly off of it. Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
And you just destroyed Greg's
water
ski.
I'd have been on top of the cabin.
And you better hope you die in the initial accident. Otherwise, you're drowned.
So I was caught up in winning. I hear Brandon scream, what the hell are you doing? And I'm thinking... And my thinking was, we're winning. That's what we're doing.
No, just says, we have to win. He kept saying that over and over again. We have to win. As if there was a prize.
It was my pride. Listen.
What did I get for that? Nothing.
Drama.
Yeah.
Greg was a wild man. I kept thinking he was going to try and lull us into a
Why did drama seem to be the fucking prize that you dole out for everything?
I wasn't.
No matter what the case
I just wanted to win, all right?
Everything we did. Here's your prize.
Because, listen, Greg was like a wild man. I figured he's trying to lull us into a false sense of security. I want to win. I want to say I beat him.
Well, you beat him.
Thank you.
You put our lives in.
So, yeah, we're approaching the shoreline, like, rapidly.
Greg was like, down. He was good. He was in shape.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He knew how to ride it. He had his feet right in the back. Dude was like a fucking dog.
I was 11 years old, and I wanted to beat the wild man.
I'm behind you. Yeah, motherfucker.
So we got to just about where that raft is, the floating platform, when I finally decided, I'm like, I was still going full throttle. So I just, I turned the jet ski as hard as I could to the left. Yeah, your mom came running out of the cabin screaming.
Yeah, bro, I lived it.
Because she saw it. She saw us coming in.
I think she did stop you because you had already.
I think she later said she thought like maybe there's something wrong with the machine. Like it froze up on us or something.
No, there's something wrong with the kid.
So yeah, I just
that kid in the back was terrified.
I turn it completely to the left, so the jet ski turns. I completely let go of the throttle.
Like, you motherfucker!
Oh, it looks so cool though. I wish we'd had it on video. That looked like a photo finish.
I don't need it. It's in my.
I was like, whoom, and I looked like a fucking champion rolling in there. I was like, someone take my motherfucking picture. I just dethroned the champion. I remember your mom running out screaming at me. And I think I just like, we were racing. And then
we were racing. I won't say that, but Greg underestimated the fact that you weren't me and you were like, hold that throttle full.
I was an 11-year-old boy. He challenged me. I wanted to win.
I remember being like, shit, god damn it. Now here we go.
We were lucky to survive. I remember when he rode up, he was so pissed.
He's like, pull over. You're like, shelve it, bitch.
I think at that point I was already off the Wave Runner because I knew I was in deep shit. And I remember him saying, he's like, you ever ride one of my machines like that again, you'll never get on. I was like, no, I did it once. I'm good. I don't need to do that again.
He was more mad at me when I was next to the freighter, bro.
Oh, like at Andrew's graduation party?
Was that when it was? I had a party in the back, bro. I'm like right next to a freighter. I can reach out and touch this fucking thing.
I remember there being freighters going through that channel.
He was so mad.
Yeah.
He was so mad. Fuck him.
All right. We're up to 40 minutes on our stubby.
It's a stubby?
So, let me get
high.
Let me get to the main event of the Wakamadas.
I gotta get high, bro. Come on, hurry up.
I think you're good.
No.
So there we are, Lake Wakamata. And, at this point in our childhoods, the Chronicle of the Poop Knife was well known. In fact, Brandon there's a picture. You had to shit in the woods on the shoreline, remember? Yeah, there's that picture that I took of you taking a dump You don't see anything, but you just see Brandon's face. all
No, but
scrunched
I
up.
thought
He's
I
like,
was. The funny thing is, during that picture, I thought you. I was like, eh. Although it was only up here. I always remember thinking, like, damn.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So I'm in the bathroom.
A little dick.
Very similar setup, except that there was no window, so no escape for this turd. I take my dump. I can see that it's a massive turd, and it's
to be every bit of
no way in hell it's going down. And here's the thing: a couple years prior, when I was younger, there was a bad shit incident where I shit in Greg's car.
Oh yeah,
and to this day, yeah, 88 Delta 88,
my Delta 85 88, motherfucker.
Yeah. That's what it was, 85.
Delta 85 88.
Yeah. To this day, when I tell people the story, I'm like, had my aunt not been there, he would have beaten me within an inch of my life.
You're probably dead.
I don't know that he'd killed me, but he would have beat the shit out of me.
Accidental.
Maybe.
I'm not saying intentionally kills you, but you get buried.
So
somewhere.
We were coming back from Mackinac. We were coming from the Upper Peninsula, and Brandon and I were wrestling around in the back seat. And Greg was a bit of a hothead, so I was afraid to say, "Hey, we need to stop. I got to poop." So I was just holding my shit. Yep. And Brandon and I are wrestling, and eventually,
shit their pants.
Yep. Brandon says, like, something stinks.
It wasn't me.
And immediately my response was not me. My famous last words of
that motherfucker.
Guilty ass shit pants kid. So as we're wrestling around, this shit's working its way up my back, down my legs.
Oh, blowout.
I get shit on the seat. And then, of course, at some point, they start smelling in the front seat. And at some point...
shit on the seat. How would they not smell it?
At some point, I'm forced to admit, well, I may have shit myself. It may have been me all along.
It happened. I don't know what happened.
Not only have I shit my pants, I've shit the car. So because of that, because of Greg's over-the-top display of anger that day.
Ridiculous. As a father, bro.
Yeah,
it was never react.
It was one of those times, like, your mom took me in the bath. I was 6, I think, 6, 7. She took me in the bathroom. Everything had to be thrown away. My underwear had to be thrown away.
You know how males have changed?
It was a fucking mess.
That males acted that way then.
Yeah, it was very toxic behavior.
Whereas if my kid shit himself in the car and there's shit on my seat, I'm like, boy, let's get you out here. Well, relax.
Right.
Relax.
Yeah, no. I remember, like, he was furious.
Like, you fucking...
I remember him. I remember
guy was a cokehead.
I remember him.
Of course he was.
Muttering obscenities.
He was in the bathroom. Ah, my fucking car.
I specifically remember, like, I'm fucking bawling.
And I probably felt it too.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I was like,
how could you not? We were like 6, 7 years old.
This fucking guy's about to kill my cousin.
And I remember,
floor.
I remember him looking at me,
seat.
and he said something to the effect of something like, "You stupid fucking kid." I was terrified. Terrified.
As you should be.
But yeah, if your mom hadn't been there that day, I would have been fucked up. So
I'm glad I don't have no memories of that other than the shit on the seat. That visual is burned in my brain. There's a poop stain on the blue.
See, I don't actually remember the poop stain.
No, it's there. It's on the blue velvet.
It's still there to this day? Is it when you had it?
In my brain.
Oh, in your brain, okay.
I no longer own the car.
Well, I know, but I meant like when you did.
Do you?
All right, the shit was clean.
Had I would have cleaned it by now. I would allow that to happen. But I'll never forget that, dude. That was...
Because of that incident, so there I am at Wakamata 4 years later, whatever it was.
I get it.
Giant-ass turd in the toilet. Nowhere to go. No window to throw it out of. Again,
I could... a psychopath.
I could have picked it up out of the toilet and tried to smuggle it out of the cabin, but the bathroom was dead center in the middle of the cabin. So whether I'm going front door or back door, there's a chance I'm going to get caught carrying a turd.
Put it in your hoodie?
No, I would have just had to be like scampering through the house with a turd.
You know what's crazy? They probably more okay with that
than what I did.
Than what you did.
Okay, here's what I did, listeners. Having no option to flush it. In fact, that one I may have tried to flush it. I can't remember, and it just wasn't going down.
Did.
But I remember just being mortified.
You get 1 or 2 in before you realize, okay,
right.
That's the only.
I was mortified that Greg would know.
Kill you?
And that it would trigger what happened in that car.
I might also get beat.
Several summers prior.
Your shittiness.
Well, and I also remember at some point in that trip, they got in an enormous fight where we almost left. Because I remember at one point, Greg...
That was their entire relationship.
Yeah,
it was a one constant fight. Remember?
Andrew was about 3.5 at the time, and I remember him telling your mom, because she got upset about something, he was like, well, you could take Joel and Brandon, but you're not taking Andrew. And I remember thinking, damn, dude, we're just cast-offs?
We ain't blood. That right there sums up the whole thing.
And that may have been, so that fight may have already happened.
That's why I made the choice I made when I told you what I told you earlier.
Yeah.
That's why I made that choice, because I never...
Now here's why I made this choice. So I, once again, or this may have been the first time, I scooped this massive turd out of the toilet. And at this point, I don't even think I knew what I was going to do with it.
28 kilograms?
I just knew that it wasn't going to flush and it had to go somewhere. Well, in the corner of this room, right by the door where you exit, or enter, depending on your perspective, there was like a water heater. Circular water heater sat in the corner of the room. So behind it, it sat right in the corner. So two 90-degree angles meet. There's a circular object in front of it.
If you do it, you a nasty fuck.
So there's a cavity. There's a like almost kind of like an irregular triangular cavity.
A nook.
Yes, a little nook behind the water heater. And I remember thinking, okay, now I was shorter than the water heater. So I remember thinking, I got one shot at this. And you guys are thinking, did he throw the turd behind the water? I absolutely
You be thinking
100% did. That
right.
turd had to disappear, and there was only one place for it to go. So I literally did a couple of test heaves, like to get a feel of the girth. And then I threw what was perhaps the most perfect throw. I launched that sucker. It went up. It clipped. It just barely clipped the wall, and then plunk.
One little smudgy.
Plunk. Right down to the floor. I heard the splat, too. I remember thinking, damn, that's a big turd. Now, you're probably asking yourselves, well, didn't anyone smell it? Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, they most certainly did. So, for the remainder, I want to say this is probably about halfway through our trip.
You might also want to ask if he washed his fucking hands.
Of course I washed my hands.
I don't think you did.
I 100% did. I knew I had to cover my tracks. I couldn't go out there with shit stains on my hands. I don't know what happened. I certainly didn't pick up my turd. So, I throw it back there. I clean up, and I'm like, all right. That's that. Hope nobody realizes what I've done. Over the ensuing days, though, everybody is like, man, it really stinks in the bathroom. Did one of you guys take a big shit?
Somebody, bro.
What?
You hide a body somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You buried the body into the house. It smells.
Right. So I remember them asking if one of us took a big shit that plugged up the toilet and like maybe there's a turd stuck under the floorboards.
I've been shitting outside.
Yeah. Brandon legit was innocent because he was shitting outside.
I've been shitting outside for a week, and you think you're putting this on me?
And I never told him. I didn't tell you during the trip because I just couldn't trust that Greg would find out.
Thank you.
So,
and I appreciate it.
I chucked the turd where we live out the rest of our trip there. I never tell anybody. We leave. We leave that turd sitting behind that water heater at Lake Wakamata.
Is it still there?
So here's the thing. I have always wondered. Certainly somebody went in there as they normally do after each rental, and they cleaned the place up.
Point, though.
Huh?
It could reach a point where they never found it.
See, that's my question.
Stop.
They definitely went in there and smelt it. Now, after a time, because I'm pretty sure that was a hot water heater, it probably melted right into the floorboards. Like, it became one with the floor over the years. Because here's my thinking. If you're the owners, if you're maintenance, whoever's job that was to go in there,
I'm burning that house down.
You obviously smell it, but not your first, second, or third thought is going to be someone threw a turd behind a water heater.
Why would it?
Right. Why would it be? What sociopath would do this?
Who the fuck would throw fecal matter behind the water radiator?
My question has always been, like, surely there was some payment information on record. Like, they didn't try and get a hold of your mom or Greg to be like, hey, we noticed a really bad smell. Did you guys notice this when you were here? Apparently not.
We would have known about it.
So.
I promise you that. We would know.
7 years go by.
Greg didn't hide nothing.
The summer I graduated.
Other than the affairs and all that shit.
we were at your mom's house on Noble, West Noble. And we were up late, laughing about shit, telling old stories. And then it was just me, you, and your mom. And then I was like, hey, you guys remember how the bathroom stunk in Wakamata? And I remember your mom's like neck snapping. She goes, yes. Like she knew. She knew there was something coming.
For that.
Like it was a mystery that she just wanted to know. I was like, well, let me tell you a little story.
Broaden your mind a little bit.
So I tell the story. I just remember all of us dying laughing. So what I would like to do in a future episode, I want to call that resort. I've looked it up on Google. It's still there. Whether ownership has changed hands, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I would like to call. I would like to come clean after all of these years and say, hey, is there anyone there who worked there in 94? And if so, was there a cabin, August of 94, that stank to high heaven and you could never figure out why? And if someone's there who was there at the time and they're like, yeah, actually, we have a photo up of what we believe is the suspect. I've always joked I'll go back there and my face is up there as a kid. Do not let this kid shit.
So if you can finagle us getting a free stay.
Now, who knows? I mean, they may have demolished the cabins and rebuilt them or something. Well, the resort's still there.
Yeah,
but
maybe they've rebuilt those cabins, you're right.
But my point is, at some point, someone went in there, they realized something horrific, some terrible smell.
Murder scene
And it's like, did they ever investigate enough to figure it out? Or was it just, it was late in the season, because winter comes
like
earlier up there.
It's condemned.
Right?
Not available.
Like it sat empty for
It's like
30 years.
It's like 1408. 1408. It's not available. What about next week? Not available. What about next month? Not available. What about next year? It's not available.
I feel like there's a good chance there was someone who worked there and they never figured out what the fuck, where that smell was coming from. They obviously knew something died or some shit happened.
It's like a police detective, bro. You ruined his life.
It's like his retirement party.
Cover the blanket and was like, where could it have been?
Never did find the source of that smell. It's bothered me all these years.
I don't get it.
Telling his grandkids about it who've inherited the property, like, I want you to figure this out. Someone back in 94.
We don't smell anything.
Remember the Major League Baseball was on a strike that summer? There was this family from Michigan, if I remember correctly.
Stinky fuck.
We never could prove it. But that cabin smelled something awful when they left. I want to call him. I want to confess.
Call him right
It's been
now.
weighing on me all these goddamn years.
Look at him and call him.
The mystery turn of Wakamata.
I bet you're probably on a different time schedule than us.
We're going to call... No, that's the same. They're Eastern.
Wouldn't call him. It's 8:30.
We're not calling them
They're
today.
awake.
Future podcast, we're going to call Wakamata.
See y'all in 6 months.
Well, listen,
it's been real.
Here's my thinking. It's February, dude. They're probably not even open yet.
Yeah.
Probably got to wait till like maybe
You want to
April.
go there and stay?
I would fucking love to do that. Broadcast right from that
I
cabin.
feel like it'd be fun.
Dude, what if we went in there and like there was a I don't know how long a smell like that could linger, but I imagine if like it's being regularly reheated, it could last for a long time.
It'd be dried. Oh, that bitch.
Well, sure, it'd be dried. It would be dried after just a couple of weeks, probably. Melted into the floorboards, like I said.
Do you smell shit at Lake Wakamata? How the fuck is that a goddamn...
There's a blog entry. The mystery shitter of Lake
We
Wakamata.
about to be rich. We're going to solve this shit.
What a
This
story.
motherfucker.
So, yeah, at least 2 different times in my life, I scooped a giant turd out of a toilet and
Nah, beer's behind
made
that
it
fucking,
disappear. So, there's that.
That computer, bro.
Well, this stubby went on for nearly an entire hour.
You
Is there anything you'd like to
know.
close on?
No. I know my kids got a real funny story they want to tell you.
Right.
It felt really good to come back on, have fun.
For sure.
I got to bear some of my resentment
For sure.
for you cheating on me
For sure.
and dipping out with a bunch of fucking skankly motherfuckers with very little to offer.
You mean your brother, my brother, and one of our good friends of like 20-some years?
I meant what I said.
Cheating on you?
I meant what I
those
said.
skank hoes?
Yeah.
I got to piss like a fucking racehorse.
It's good to be back on your show. It was fun.
And if you want to participate in this podcast and you want to send us any topics or just chime in on anything,
We'll
can
get
do
back
that.
in months.
You can do that. Just shoot us an email to vagrantsandvandals@gmail.com. That is vagrants, the letter N, vandals @gmail.com. Almost peeked a little there. Sorry about that, folks. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stubby, the most dab. And again, I hope you enjoyed the shit stories. And if you guys have any desperate shit stories, you got yourselves into a pickle at some point. And
Shit knife.
you had to handle any fecal matter.
Who had a shit knife?
Yeah, anyone have a shit
No,
knife?
I mean,
Anyone else?
you either had a shit knife or you didn't have a shit
Or
knife.
you didn't know one existed until
Right,
today.
right.
And you were like,
You either had it
"What?"
or it didn't exist.
That's right. That's right. So send all that to us. And remember, be you vagrant or be you vandal, all rascals and rogues, welcome here.